So the mentorship is a community for deep thinkers and feelers to grow stories that change the world. The mentorship is about belonging. It's about safety, writing for good, writing to understand yourself more and to understand other people more. It's about emotional bravery, honoring your body and your brain. And I feel like the world is antithetical to a lot of these things right now. And so I guess since November, since Trump was elected, especially, I've been thinking about like, okay, what can I do during this time in my space? And one of the things that I can do is to bring more people into the mentorship because I think we have a really unique community. And previously, up until now, there's been one way to join us. You had to commit for a year. It was pretty costly, and so a lot of people couldn't join us. But we are changing that up. And you can join our community for $15 a month if that's what you would like to pay. So we are moving to a totally different system, and I want to tell you about it. Um, we've got we've got three different tiers here. We have a community level. This is the essential foundation. It is the first level of the mentorship, not because it is the beginner level or the cheapest level or like the entry point. It is the first level because it is essential. It is necessary. It is the best part of our community, and I want everyone to have it. um, Especially if you are writing something that challenges the status quo or something that is deeply connected to who you are. This is the whole point of the mentorship, is the community. So in the mentorship, we have co-writing sessions, we have bonus trainings. There's one coming up on Friday. We've got Q&A calls. We have a Foundations of Story course. We also have an online private community where we can share your like favorite pet pics or or your favorite memes, but also, talk about the challenges that are coming up. Also, I'm starting a podcast later this year, and you'll have the opportunity to apply to be on my podcast. It's a coaching conversation podcast. So the community level costs $15 to $85 a month. It's sliding scale, so you pay what you can pay. Sandy, you can join at any time. Yeah, you can absolutely wait if you would like to. You can also join now at $15 a month if that's doable for you. So here's what one of our community members said. Thank you for putting this community together. I've been in a few writing groups in the past, but this is the first one I found where everyone is really coming together as a community to support each other. This is also the first group where I felt comfortable expressing my queer identity and felt able to open up about the true core and reason for this piece. Yes, Sandy. So the first step to join us is there's two steps. The first one is inquire. It takes like 2 minutes, and then complete an application. Kayla, can you put the link in for Sandy? Thank you. So the next level that you can participate in is the curriculum level. This is where you grow your story from the ground up. At the curriculum level, you get everything in the community level, plus all of these story tree courses. So it's 12 courses. Every tab here is a course, and there's a revision course, and there's maybe a couple more. But this is like a complete system to walk you from idea or revision to a final draft. It's all the things you need to know. If you like spreadsheets and worksheets, you're going to love this. This is going to help you grow your novel organically and ensure that all the elements are working together, and that you're writing the book that you really want to write, and that it's doing what you want it to do. I also teach the Enneagram as part of the story tree process. So in every course, you get a bit of the Enneagram so that you can understand yourself and build really authentic characters. Also, if you don't want to do the Enneagram part, you can skip it as well. It's not required to do the system. Here's what Kahina said about the coursework. Kahina is an editor herself, and she's been working on a book for years, and it wasn't what she wanted. So she came in and did the story tree process. And she said, I feel better about myself as a writer now than I have at any other point in my adult life. I doubt I'll ever use another model. I've been through so many over the years, and none were even close to being this helpful. I already know that the next draft will be the best yet, and maybe the first one I'm actually happy with. Amanda, who's here on this call, recently said that she wanted to marry a worksheet because it was so good. So, so if you like worksheets and spreadsheets, you'll probably like the curriculum. We do have a special group in our online space just to talk about the curriculum. The curriculum is from $100 to $300 a month. Again, pay what you can. And then the last level is coaching, magical worksheets. So coaching is where you have me with you through all the story bits and pieces. You get everything in these other two levels. We have an intimate group of writers at the coaching level. We have weekly group coaching calls where you get to talk to me about your story. So we can talk about your characters or your plot. We can look at a piece of the scene, but we can also talk about if you're feeling scared or stuck or what's the point of doing this? We talk about that stuff as well. Here's what Olivia said. She said, "This isn't a place where we are fighting to be the most knowledgeable or the best writer. It's a place where we are willing to grow and be open. In the mentorship, you get out what you put in. If you put in courage and vulnerability and a willingness to learn and grow, then you're going to get so much out of it. You need to be willing to put aside your ego and all the things you think you know. You're allowed to know things, but you need to be willing to change because in all likelihood, you're not here because everything in your book is working great." And I think that really sums up the community in general, the kind of the openness of the community, but especially at the coaching level. There's a lot of, it's about if you want to think deeply about your story and you want to write something that means something to you, the coaching level can be a great place to get the one-on-one support and feedback you need. So we do use a sliding scale because capitalism sucks and everyone deserves the opportunity to be part of our community. This sliding scale is part of my resistance to the systems we live in. And so if you've got extra money and you can choose to pay more, you're helping someone who doesn't have as many resources to be able to tell their story. If you don't have as much money, pay what you can sustainably afford because we want you here. I tried to do my best to make this a space for people whose stories are not told as often. No matter what you pay, you get the same stuff at your level, and no one's going to know what you pay. So how can you join us? You can't just go pay at a cart and join our community because you actually have to apply and be accepted. And the reason for that is because I want you to know when you come into our community that you don't have to worry about a MAGA person lurking around the corner. I want you to know that people in our community are going to use your pronouns. I want you to know that we are going to honor your experience as a Black woman in the United States. We're not perfect, but in the mentorship, we are open to learning and growing, being challenged, being accountable, so that everyone, especially those from marginalized communities, can engage in the vulnerable process of writing a book. So the first step is to inquire. It's 5 questions. It takes 2 minutes. You're not committing to anything. It's basically just, yes, you should apply, or the mentorship's probably not the right space for you. So here's some other resources to check out. It literally takes 2 minutes. And once you've inquired, if it's a yes, you'll get an application. The application has about 16 questions that are really thoughtfully, intentionally designed. It'll take about 30 minutes, and I will personally review your application. And you'll either be like, a hell yes, please join us, or this isn't quite right for you. Here's some resources to check out. So I am going to give you 2 minutes right now to actually complete your inquiry because I know that if you get off this call, if your life is like mine, your kids are going to want 50,000 things from you. So take 2 minutes. to fill out your inquiry. Again, you're not committing. You don't even have to know what level you want to join at. It's just starting the process. If you are still working on your inquiry, please keep going. If you want to join us, I would encourage you to go ahead and apply and then join at the community level. You can change your level at any time. So there's no like, you don't have to figure out if you want to join the curriculum or coaching level yet, because you can always do that later. But we are having some events this next week that I would love for you to join us at. We're having a new member kickoff call on Wednesday, May 7th at 7 p.m. Central. So this is a time, we only have these kickoff calls when we're bringing in like a group of people at the same time. And they're a great way to immediately connect with each other, to get yourself oriented, to ask any questions you have. So that's on Wednesday. We are having a bonus training on Friday with Taj Smith. Taj is an anti-burnout coach who works with people who are trying to make change in the world, and they're going to come lead a bonus training on world building as respite. So they're going to talk about like the worlds we love that we find respite in, and then also creating our own worlds. And then we will have another new member kickoff call on Tuesday, May 13th at 1 p.m. So this is especially if you're in like Europe, this call will probably work for you. Okay. I do want to do one more thing. And I want to help you know if you're still not sure. I want to help you know if you belong to our community or not. So I'm going to read through this list, and I want you to just like literally tally each one that applies to you. Okay, so you're a rooted writer if you have ever been called too sensitive or tend to overthink everything. Whoops. If you would proudly describe yourself as a bookish weirdo or nerd or book lover. If you hold one or more marginalized identities. If you don't hold a marginalized identity, but feel passionately about supporting those who do, because what the fuck is wrong with the world that they think this is okay? If you're looking for a place to belong. If you know what it's like to stay up until 2 a.m. because a book is too damn good to put down. If you know what it's like to sob because a book has named a deeply hidden part of yourself or even of someone else. If you have a story you need to tell, even if you aren't quite sure what it is. If you're done trying to write fast and you're ready to write deep. If you want to be with people who embrace your she, he, they pronouns, or you want to embrace other people's she, he, they pronouns. If you value saying something true over getting a 6-figure book deal, although, I mean, sure, it'd be nice to get a 6-figure book deal. If you want to go down the Enneagram rabbit hole of why you are the way you are. And if you believe in building a world where every person is safe to be who they are, love who they love, and simply exist in peace. Tell me in the chat how many you checked off. 1 to 13, those are the options. 13, 11, 13, 13, 10, 11, a lot. If you checked off 6 or more, you should join us. So if you haven't already, fill out your inquiry. A couple things to know about our space is that we are a very diverse community. Almost everyone has one or more marginalized identities. We are about 40% BIPOC. And if we're counting women as a marginalized group, then we are 100%. We all have one or more marginalized identities. And I'm also happy if you need time to actually complete your application before like your children start bugging you. I'm actually happy to sit here while you do that and I'll just do something else. So you can let me know in the chat if that would be helpful. What questions do you have for me? I'm excited for you to join us, Carmen. Any questions, worries, fears? I don't have a question. I'm just so happy to be part of it because I learn from you in a way I never learn from others. Thanks, Carmen. Erica.
Hi, Danny. Sorry if you said this before and I just didn't catch it. Um, of the three options that you mentioned, are all of them, none of them, some of them, a question of like folks looking at each other's manuscripts and offering feedback, etc. Or just curious about how I've
That's a great
never been in one of these before, so I'm excited to
That's
know
a
more.
great
Thank
question.
you.
So our community, there is no built-in or required element of peer feedback, because sometimes that's not helpful. And sometimes, people have had really negative experiences with that. You absolutely can share your work with other people. If you're in the community level or the coaching level, you'll be getting feedback from me on your book, which I understand how story works and how to help you find your story and how to give feedback. So it shouldn't be soul crushing. And we will do in the future. We've done a little bit of a training on, like, I have a guide called Don't Be a Dick, How to Be a Good Critique Partner. And so I think in the future there might be some actual facilitation of sort of critique groups or critique partners, but that's not like an organized part of the community yet, but you're welcome to share your work with others if you would like. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Reba?
Thank you, Danny. If you join at the second level, whatever you called it, so you're working through your course material, and could you just give me an idea? Is that like one every few weeks? Does it depend on your level? How long does it take to go through?
Sure. So the coursework is fully self-paced, so you can go through it however quickly you want. Most people who are at the coaching level and getting like feedback along the way, I mean, honestly, they're usually planning for at least a year because we move slow. And in like a lot of times people talk about coaching calls as being like therapy. And so there's a lot of like deep work and reflection, but it's totally self-paced. I think you probably could get through it in 3 months if you're if you're like just powering through. There is a lot of content there. And some of that is Enneagram content, but you can move through it however you would like.
And just the second question is, if you're not, I'm very attractive to your framework, but I'm actually not working on a novel right now. So I see it as a match. Any comment on that? That's really kind of a question.
Are you writing another kind of project right now?
I'm actually doing short creative nonfiction, but your approach to diverse communities and self-reflection and the Enneagram, I'm familiar.
Okay. So at the community level, I think like the mentorship right now is focused on fiction. I am in a course like about memoir, which is very similar to fiction. At the community level, you can join us no matter what you're writing, because I mean, we would love to have you in our community. The curriculum is going to be most helpful for fiction, but it will apply. Certainly the self-discovery elements, the Enneagram elements will apply no matter what. And then if you're writing creative nonfiction, if you're writing memoir, if you're writing short stories, I think you will find the curriculum helpful. Yes. Yeah. Any other questions, Reba? Okay. Anyone else have a question? Any Rooted writers want to give their thoughts on the community curriculum or coaching? They weren't prepared. None of them are going to talk now. That's fine.
I don't mind saying that it's great. I love it. Do it now. Um, uh, yeah, I have been trying to figure out how to write and get to an end and edit and revise the things that I actually want to say for like 30 years. I have an undergraduate degree from Stanford University in creative writing, and I have learned more in this mentorship than I learned there. And I've gotten much further with my writing than I have there. So I think it's great. And the community is fantastic and amazing. It makes my heart happy. So
Makes my heart happy too. Thanks, Amanda. Can I use that as a testimonial on my website?
absolutely.
Thanks.